Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my channel, and today in this video I'm very excited to share with you this great feature of Typesense called natural language search. Now, those who are not aware of what natural language search is, just a 101. Basically, if you are using any text search mechanism, then what happens is typically what you type as text is being looked at in the database. Now, the database can be MySQL, Postgres, Elastic, or anything. But the whole point is, if you have searched for pant, then you can't expect trousers because your search query was pant. Similarly, if in a natural way you say, I am looking for fast car, you can't expect the search engine to understand that and look at the database for fast cars, right? And that is what natural language search helps you do. Typesense has come up with this new feature where we can use LLM powered search engine. We pass in a string in our natural language, which means like I can say whatever I want, and then Typesense will take that string, understand what that translates to based on the data it has, and then it will do the appropriate search. So this is what natural language search is, and in this video I'm going to show you how we can do that. To start off, one thing that you will need is the Docker setup. So I'll first walk you through how to get the Docker setup running. I have my Docker Compose YAML where I have two services. One is the Typesense, and you have to run it on version 29 because let me show you, this feature is very new. It is not there in 28 or below. It has been introduced just in version 29. Okay, so you need to ensure you are running version 29 or above, and the rest of the things are pretty straightforward. Container name, port. Now in here you need to understand that I have a API key which I have provided for the Typesense to run, and this is the data directory. Now the API is going to be used for any further communication with Typesense for authorization. Okay, Typesense dashboard is an application which allows you to look at the data. Whatever is there in your Typesense collections, you will be able to see that through this dashboard. Port 5000. Now in here we are telling the dashboard application to use this key. So if you see, this is exactly what I have typed in here, and it is communicating on port 8108, which we have exposed over here. Rest, everything else fine. If you have any further questions on this Docker setup, you can comment below. If I feel that there are enough comments regarding the Docker setup, maybe I will create a separate video out of it. But I'm assuming you generally know what Docker setups are typically. With this done, I'll show you my Docker setup. See, these two things are running. Typesense natural language search. This is the server. This is the dashboard. All well. What else? Now we have our data. The Docker setup. So this is my dashboard. If you see, it shows me some stats like how much memory is being used right now, and the memory for the collections and everything. Now I have a collection already. I was recording the Hindi video, but for the purpose of this demo, I will delete that. Okay, so now we have nothing in our Typesense database. And based on the APIs, what I have done is I have created this postmine collection. So if I run the first get query, I will see that I have no collections. Okay, it is on HTTP localhost 8108. The only additional header which I am passing for each request is this XYZ. Okay, this is how Postman sends the token or the API key, and the Typesense will authorize that. Okay, then the database. So I am using the car dataset available on Kaggle. You can go over here and download this. It's a very small database of 106 KB. It has about 16 columns. I will show you the data. See, this is inside my data folder, data.csv. It has make, model, year, engine, fuel type, engine HP, cylinders, transmission type, quite a few things. Okay. Now, what I have done over here is for the create collection, I'm making a post call. My collection name is cars, and all the fields that I had in here, or that I have in my CSV, I literally translated that into the JSON, which will be required to create that collection. One thing, you need to understand if there are any numeric values, do this type in 32. If you don't put that properly, or if you put somewhere as in 32 and it comes out to be a string, then during the insertion, those things will fail. So you'll have to take care of that. And this particular thing, facet equals true, right? What happens is in the dashboard, actually, I don't have the dashboard ready yet because I have deleted the data, but in the search, if you want to filter the data based on certain facets, like if you want to filter your results based on make, model, year, anything, you'll have to set it as true. Only then will Typesense allow you to facet on that. If you have not set it, it will not allow you. For example, I haven't set that for my engine HP and engine cylinders, so it cannot facet on that. Okay, this is something which you need to remember. Default sort field is MSRP, which I felt as the price. And now if I hit send and I go to the dashboard, I have a collection. Okay, the collection is ready. There is no data as of now. It says number of document is 0, but you can see that we have the schema as well. Okay, there was one more way. I don't know. Anyways, right. So we have the schema. Now I have a script which inserts the data from the data.csv into my Typesense collection. Okay, so I have used the Typesense client. Okay, you can find this code in the repository. Let me show you that as well. Actually, GitHub Amitav Roy. Yep. You go over here, AI experiments, and okay, I haven't committed it yet. My bad. I will do that, but you will find it in this repository. Okay. So now what will happen is, so I'm using this Typesense and CSV. So client equals typesense.client. And to connect to that client, this is the configurations. I have a node. In Typesense, you can have multiple nodes running. So it's an array running on host. This. API key is this. So this gives me the client. Now, once I have the client, I open the CSV file. I do a reader instance, and for each row, I'm creating the data which is required to be inserted into the collection. Okay. And then I do collection cars document.create. So now if I run this, Python index.py, it starts inserting. So if I show you, it is adding data 2633. It hasn't completed yet. It has around 11,000 odd records. So we will wait for that to complete. Shouldn't take too much time. In the meantime, all this magic, as I told you, is happening because Typesense uses LLMs. Okay, they use LLMs to understand what the user is trying to search for, and for that they have certain integrations. What you have to do is create a model in Typesense. Okay, and this model is an LLM instance. Okay, so create a natural language search model. It supports what? OpenAI, Cloudflare workers, self-hosted, Google Gemini. Okay, Cloudflare, you can get some free credits, so you can use them. If you want, you can. If you are running Olama, I think you can use this as well. But yeah, I mean, you can try all of them if you want. I have tried with OpenAI. So yes, let's see. Okay, the data has been imported. Now, what we have to do is, before we make the natural language search, we have to create a model. So over here, List models, get model details, update, delete. Where is the create? That's funny. Create is over here. Yeah. Okay. So in here, it is doing Google Gemini 2.5 Flash. I have my Postman collection where I have create model. You can see I have named the model as car search agent. I am using the Open AI GPT 4.1 Nano model. You have to pass the API key over here. You can define the maximum bytes. It's a safe limit. Okay. Temperature, if you want to get creative, you can do that. And the system prompt. For now, I have kept this straightforward, nothing additional. And with this, I have created the model. The model is already there in my database. You can see this is the model I have, ID this. You need to keep in mind of this ID because we will use them when we do the search. And this is my OpenAI key, which is in star. Now, when I do search on the database is what now we will see. Okay. So in the header, I'm passing this. That's all that I have. But during the search, you can see I am querying, I'm sending the natural language model ID. Okay. And the natural language query debug true will give you the query output that came from the LLM. Let's understand what we are searching for. So the first query that I have is I want to buy a car for my family of 9. It should be cost effective. So I'm looking for a car, family of 9, cost effective. And the second one is I want a double door automatic. The double door doesn't have the number, it's word double door and it is automatic. Now let's do the search and understand what happens. All right. We have two results. The first one is for the first search string. Let's collapse the hits. We are not interested in the hits right now. What we are interested in is what was searched for. So it just did a vehicle size filter and that is large. Okay. Let's see. That's the case because the vehicle size, yeah, it understood that I need a large. Okay, that's smart. It also, because I said cost effective, it's did a sort on the price in an ascending way. So I will get all the cheaper options first. So what about the second result? Let's see. In here, I'll collapse the hits. What is being searched for? It is filtering the results by number of doors as 2. That's great. So it understood from this text double door that I am looking for number of doors as value 2. And because I said automatic, it understood that the transmission type will have to be automatic. It didn't go for other transmissions. See, and in here it doesn't even have the sort by because I haven't mentioned anything about the price. That's great. So now let's understand the LLM response. So what happened is this text was passed to Typesense. Typesense used the LLM. Now I have seen the code, so I know that it also gets the facets information, which we can see over here. And based on that, using the LLM capabilities, it matches the string and the facets and try to understand what could be the best query. Okay, so it came up that the query in here will be filtered by number of doors is 2 and transmission type automatic, sort by is nothing. Whereas in the previous query, the LLM query was filter by vehicle size large, sort by MSRP ascending. Okay, and this is where now the multi-search capabilities become sorry, not the multi-search, the natural language search capabilities will help you bring a new experience for your users. They don't need to understand the nuances between whether you are calling your products pants or trousers or jeans or whatnot. They can just type whatever they are looking for in their own language, and the LLM will understand what the user is looking for, what we have in our database, and based on that, it will filter things out. So yeah, that's what I wanted to cover in this video, guys. I hope you find this useful. I see this being a great starting point for any search experience, especially for commerce where you have a lot of products, because now you have the ability to play around with a lot of things. Now users will be able to type in their own way, the way they are thinking, and it will definitely improve the overall search experience. So yeah, if you have any questions, drop a comment and I will try to answer that. If you like this video, then do click on the thumbs up icon and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.